So hi everyone. Basically, I am not that much regular in making videos, so pardon me if I do something wrong in here. Okay, there might be some problems, but again, I thought of making this video because I've been getting a lot of requests from students who are not able to qualify in the grand test. I mean, they are not able to get above the 368 point, and from the students who are actually stuck at the same score in like multiple GDs. So I thought, why not cater to the students and try to help those people who are in genuine need. And maybe if you see around, you will see that everyone is talking about how to score rank 1, how to score 900 and above, but nobody's talking on how to actually qualify, because there's always a section of students who are in this category. Because I was a moderate student throughout my life. Okay, yes, I was hardworking, that's for sure, but I was always moderate. And just talking about rank 1 doesn't seem the simple way. It should be like that: first I need to qualify, then I need to score 600, and then I need to go to 800. But until unless I put a step on the step 1, I will not be able to reach directly to rank 1. So my friends, maybe if you're watching this video, this video especially for the students who are not able to qualify, and second, who are basically stuck on the same score. If you want to see how to score above 800, 900, or get to the rank 1, trust me, there are much better motivators and renowned people in this industry to help you out. Okay, and the trick that I am going to tell you, I have utilized it with for the last 2 years with some friends of mine and 200 more students. And out of those are the people who were stuck at they were not able to qualify. They were stuck at 200, 250 for the last 2 to 3 years. And by utilizing this strategy, they were able to qualify, okay, and get to the seat of their choice. And that could be a private seat, that could be, I mean, just a decent bit that they could take through the government. I mean, not the government, they could get a seat through counseling, but they were able to qualify. That is the main thing that I'm going to stress out today. There's always a class of students which needs a certain kind of help, and this video is for those people. So now let's get to the strategy. See, basically, I have a thing that everything is objective. Okay, nothing in this world is subjective, but you have to see right through it. Basically, let me tell you what I'm talking about. Now let's see. In a grand test, in 300 questions, 3.5 hours, you have 3 categories of questions. One is the correct. Okay, that is the answers. I'm sorry. So basically, the correct number of answers, it depends upon your revision. Am I right? The harder that you have revised, the better that you have revised, the more number of questions you can simply get to answer. Then there is incorrect. Now incorrect, you can mark a question either incorrect because of a reason, that is that you have the wrong knowledge, or you are simply trying your luck or intuition. Now the only thing in the exam that is subjective, that can be a variable, is the not attempted. You might be hearing people talking about, like, okay, that you have to target 300, you have to target 250. The students that I worked this strategy out with, I asked them, what is the reason behind going to 300? Okay, this knowledge is limited. You are simply using this kind of knowledge to reach to the certain point of mark, a certain mark. Okay, and this is like going, every time you're marking a question, you are going -1. So you have to utilize this thing. You have to be subjective in your approach, because again, stressing out my point, and please pardon me for this, that I am not the Sachin Tendulkar category. I cannot try a 6 on every ball, but right now I have to first qualify. Okay, so if I have to qualify, then I have to make my own approach, and I cannot follow the people who are targeting rank 1. Okay, for that I always say you have to use a certain kind of strategy, and in that, the not attempted is subjective. The trick that you need to utilize is that you have to do the exam in 2 rounds. First of all, in the first round, you have to simply mark the questions. While you are reading the question, you have to simply mark the questions for which you are 100% sure. I mean, you do not have to rethink. Okay, I mean, you read the question, you read the answer, and simply say, okay, this is the right answer. Okay, that is a 100% sure category. Why am I telling you to do this? Because many a times I have seen students that they simply start marking the question from the 1, 2, 3, 4, and when they find a difficult question, they simply stop to think on that question, and in that time they lose a lot of time by just thinking. See, in a time dependent examination, every second counts. So if you are wasting those seconds on a question that you do not have any idea of, the point is that you will mark that question also incorrect, and you do not know that there might be a question in above 250, like 260 or 270, 270th question, which you will be 100% sure, which will guarantee you 4 marks, but you will not be able to reach that question because of shortage of time. So in this strategy, you will be able to first cover all the questions from first 1 to 300. Okay, so in that manner you will be making step 1, that is a base of questions in which you are 100% sure. Okay, and in this category, let me tell you that the people, again the students I worked with, they were going like 100 to 120 questions. I'm sorry, just a second. So they were basically going 100 to 120 questions. After that, they were simply marking a lot of negatives. They were going towards intuitions, they were going towards a guess factor, a luck factor, and every time they were towards the negative side of the luck. So let's first be ready for the worst. That is when I move on to the second round. In the second round, I will ask you to actually take your time, think on those questions, and then mark it. In this way, once your base is ready, okay, once your base is ready, you will be a bit more confident and you will have a psychological edge. Okay, and do not even think of going towards 300 questions or 250 questions. Your target in the whole scenario is to get more than your correct may vary, but your target is also less than 50 incorrect. This is your second target. This is your first target. So for that, in your second round, you move on to the questions in which you are 50-50 or more. Sure. Okay, you will take your time, you will understand and analyze the questions and then mark. But the one thing that you will not be apprehensive of is that my paper might be left. No, you have gone through the whole question paper. You know that what you know in what you are 100% sure, you have already marked that. So automatically, trust me, you will be having a psychological advantage. And again, I will be asking you that in questions you are less than 50-50 sure, please do not mark them. Do not mark a single question on intuition or luck and let it go to not attempted. Every questions you simply, in every question you try and stop your negative. You're actually standing still while your compatriots, your peers are going one way behind by marking that question wrong. In a competitive examination, even that is a victory. So in every scenario, if you see and analyze, I am actually making your two targets. That is, based on your revision, your target is 200 plus correct, but based on your strategy, less than 50 incorrect. Less than 50 incorrect. These are your two targets in the grand test. So again, repeating myself, in the first round, only mark questions in which you are 100% sure. In this manner, you will be able to get a base score, and also you will be able to analyze the whole question paper. Okay, you will be making sure that you will not have that kind of tension in your head that the question 300, I am still at the question 200 and I have not even seen the question 300. So do not do that kind of mistake. First cover all the questions, and then, okay, just a point that I was missing, that okay, you watch a question, you see a question, and even if you have a single bit of doubt, please do not waste a time on that question. Keep it for the second round. Okay, and when you do it, this is a strategy that you have to utilize in every GT. So only after this you will be able to do it properly in the main examination. Okay, even if you try and do it in the directly in the main examination, it will not show you that much result, but do it in subsequent GTs and trust me, it will show you a good result. So now coming back to the revision part, when you do in the first round 100% sure, in the second round 50-50 and above, those are the questions that you have to mark. Even if you think that okay, this is a chance that this might not be the answer, skip it. Okay, skip it, because again, prepare for the worst. This, you might be thinking that okay, yeah, let's try the luck factor, there is a high probability chance that it might get right. Trust me, it will not be. Okay, so I am that kind of person that I try to be prepared for the worst. I am actually trying to save the -1 rather than wish for a, a theoretical +4. Okay, so try and save every mark while going through the examination. In these two rounds, you will be able to complete the examination, complete the question paper, as well as have a strategized score building. And in the subsequent GTs, your target is above 200 plus questions and less than 50 questions incorrect. So in every upcoming GT, your victory is your correct should go up and your incorrect should go down, and these are exclusive of each other. Okay, these are not the same thing, these are exclusive of each other. I will ask you not to worry about the rank, I will ask you not to worry about the score, because rank and score are the end of the journey. The journey is how many correct you get and how many incorrect you get. You have 200 plus correct, less than 50 incorrect, you are already above 700, my friend. You're already above 700, you are in the top cream. Now if you keep going above 200, you will be getting 800, 900, and you keep getting less than 50 incorrect. That means the chances of actually going, even chances of defeat in the examination will be much less in the actual NEET examination. Okay, so this is the proper target in your upcoming GTs. Every GT, in every subsequent GT, you need to have more than 200 correct, less than 50 incorrect, and if you are not able to go to that score, even if you are in the above less than 400 range, that means you need to have more correct than the last grand test and less incorrect than the last grand test. Okay, so choose your battle, choose your strategy, and again, if you have a strategy that is working for you, if you are scoring above 700, 800 marks, this is not for you. Okay, if something can help you, please do include it in that strategy, but stick to the one that is working for you. So that is me, Nachiket Bhatia, again trying to help a bit. And if there are something that I said which looked bad, or again, I make a lot less videos and I'll try to make more videos now. So thank you guys and best of luck.